United States, because it has been a threat to countries, the immediate one being Israel. So instead of using sanctions and warnings to Iran, do you think there are alternative but realistic ways to solve this conflict in a more diplomatic way?
Yeah, it would require a shift in approach. First of all, the West has to be far less accommodating of Israel. Because Israel, in my mind, has used this issue in the past as a way to stop people talking about real things, like Israel taking over land with the Palestinians, and all that whole nexus of things. Everyone's already forgotten the Golan Heights, talking about conquest of land, right, for instance. I don't think anyone even sort of remembers it's part of Syria anymore. So by changing the subject, Israel knows time. And we all get involved in the psychological debates of is Israel bluffing or not? Does Iran have nuclear weapons or not? Will America strike or not? It's all, the whole airwaves, the press is full of it, and meanwhile, Israel continues consolidating what it has. So, I think that has to be remembered a bit more forcefully. Forcefully is the wrong word, but strongly, yeah. I think also Congress has to be much more realistic. Not just like Iran, like Cuba, all these places where Iran somehow the United States allows these special interests to hijack its foreign policy concerns. If that could change, that would be wonderful. It's not going to change anytime soon. It would be great if the European Union could decide that these individual states are meaningless now. You've got to unite behind one person and not choose the person you think will be the weakest person, but choose someone who will actually be respected. Even though Cathy Ashton is a very nice, decent, warm woman and is effective one-to-one, absolutely. She's given no support, especially no support by her country, Britain. So it would be great if Europe could actually step up to the mark. I mean, it's amazing. If you're in the international sort of things like Cyprus, even, where it's a part of the European Union. We're talking about East Mediterranean gas issue, for instance. European countries never even mentioned. It's amazing. Europe is it's a band of pygmies in there. Yeah. And so they might as well get together. So anyway, it's a long way of answering.
Can I ask one question?
Yeah.
You mentioned Syria before you did all these questions. So my question is about Syria. So how do you think the international community or the world will resolve the crisis in Syria? They're bombing their own cities. It's a big issue on the internet right now. And considering that many support a military intervention in Syria, while Iran, China, also Russia is supporting Assad or at least the current Syrian government, while at the same time Netanyahu seeks to militarily engage with Iran, how do you think the Syrian issue will be tackled?
Well, currently everyone's got their head deep in the sand, like ostrich-like. It's too tough. And also internationally, things have gone wrong. I mean, it's a Russian protectorate, Syria, in some ways. So they have a base there, they have investments there, they have people there. Yeah, and they're selling weaponry. In the Russian view, which is not completely legitimate, is that the government still has quite a lot of support. It's not like a bunch of people around Gaddafi. They've been around for a long time. And of course, the Western side is indignant. They see humanitarian issues everywhere. They want everything to be a better place. But seen from another angle, it's a bit odd that the West gets so worried about 10,000 people getting killed in Syria this year, when I remember when 10,000 people were killed in Syria in 1982. I remember that. No one said a thing. It's very strange. And suddenly they want to change the government, they want to do everything. The possibilities of international conflict over Syria are real. And Turkey is finding it really hard to stay out of and to get dragged into some kind of proxy conflict with Iran. America, there are people in America who think that if only Turkey would growl at Damascus, Damascus would give up. It's absolutely untrue because of what happened 12 years ago with Abdullah Öcalan. And I think we are moving towards a situation where all we can do is say, right, we are collecting evidence for the International Criminal Court. We are going to seek UN monitors, rather like Bosnia, until the point where the world has reached a consensus about real action. I mean, Turkey can do nothing on its own. Nobody can do anything on its own. There has to be a joint decision. And for that, the United States will have to talk to Russia and reach an agreement with Russia. There is no other way. And right now, the two sides don't seem to be on the same page.
So it's going to go on?
Yeah, and the international community has to be united when it does this. If one side goes in, then it'll be very dangerous. And it's beginning to look like a very ugly sectarian war, and that has big consequences for Turkey too, with the Kurdish question, the Islamist question. It's a big mess.
And last of all.
Oh,
sorry. Yeah, no. So you're the last one.
Can I also add one?
Sure, go ahead. Go.
Okay, so there are plenty of reasons why it is dangerous for Iran to have nuclear weapons for other countries. But since we say a country having nuclear weapons is dangerous for other countries, why Iran as a country can have nuclear weapons? I mean, in the end, isn't it their right to have them? I mean, while others can have, like such as the United States and Russia?
Not according to the non-proliferation treaty. There's a treaty where the 5 countries with nuclear weapons say that, okay, we keep the weapons and we promise to reduce them if you promise never to get them. And it's been a very successful treaty. Everyone signed up for it, and yes, they did. The nuclear weapon states did reduce, and very few people have found it worth their while to leave the non-proliferation. But as you said, North Korea, India, Pakistan have all. I think none of them were actually in the design, but they went and did it, and no one did anything about it. So why shouldn't Iran do it too? The thing is that they would have to renounce the NPT first. And that would be dangerous, that would be even more dangerous position than they are right now. The world wouldn't like it. And while the use of nuclear energy is absolutely Iran's right, and has some practical uses for Iran, they don't have enough energy in Iran because the mismanagement of their natural resources is extreme. But I think it would be very unwise for Iran to actually explicitly become a nuclear power, because at that point, Saudi Arabia might, there's a big argument about whether it might go for nuclear weapons. Egypt might go for nuclear weapons. And at that point, what would Turkey do? Turkey has nuclear weapons here in Jidik. There are about 60 American bombs there, or B-61s. They're for NATO use, although there actually isn't a plane here that can carry them. They have to fly from Germany to take them anywhere. But, they are there. You have them, don't worry. I think ultimately it's a bit of a psychological game. And I think that, if it's the last thing I'm going to say, that Iran will get nuclear weapons the day that Turkey leaves the EU.
No.